Inspired by the life of the savvy and ambitious Colombian businesswoman Griselda Blanco comes a new Netflix original limited series. Griselda tells the story of a devoted mother who, with her lethal blend of charm and relentless savagery, creates one of the most powerful cartels in history. Witness Sofia Vergara's captivating transformation into the godmother of the underworld. Griselda, streaming January 25th, only on Netflix.
Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. This is your host, Debbie. Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. I'm your host, Debbie, and today we have a very special guest here in the studio. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Rhonda Mendez, and I am the owner of Hammer and Stain Waco.
Yes, and this is actually a redo episode, so you're not necessarily a veteran because your first episode went missing into the ether, never to be seen again. But the first question I always ask is, what brought you to Waco, or are you a Waco native?
So I am not a Waco native. I am a Texan.
Ooh.
Born and raised in San Antonio, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband and I were away for 21 years.
Wow.
Well, he served in the Air Force. Mm-hmm. And then we decided to come back to Texas. And Waco was where we chose to make our home.
Yeah. And now your wonderful daughter works for us also.
Yeah, she does. She's the editor. She's one of the
Shout
editors.
Out Reagan. Yes. We love you.
So fun. I can't
but yeah, so you've come back to Waco. How long have you been back now?
Probably. About a year.
Okay.
Just over a year, I believe.
So you've seen a lot of growth and development in the past year.
Yes, it's
what
crazy.
have you loved about it?
There's this new business on Franklin and 11th called Hammer and Stain Waco.
That's you.
No. I love seeing the development and the growth. It's been so fun. Not just to be here to see it, but I mean, kind of be a part of it. Like feel like we are not just experiencing it, but kind of growing along with Waco.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I enjoy it a lot.
I love that. And as you mentioned, you're a business owner. So what has it been like being a business owner here in Waco?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is like the heart of small business in Waco.
Yeah.
And just how other businesses, but also the locals really embrace welcoming.
Yeah.
They're very welcoming to new businesses.
Yeah.
And although I'm from Texas, we've never lived in Waco, so you could call us an outsider.
Yeah.
And nobody calls us an outsider. You know, everybody's super welcoming. So that has been amazing. I love it.
Oh, that's so sweet. And so you are the owner of Hammer and Stain. So what is Hammer and Stain?
Hammer and Stain is a DIY workshop studio. And basically, it's a place where people can come and complete different home decor craft projects within our space. And we are like a sip and create where you can BYOB and food and drinks. And we do birthday parties and just it's about the experience. But I really pride myself in helping make sure that the projects that people are creating are wall-worthy art. So they can take it straight home, put it up where it needs to go. They'll be happy about it, and they'll really enjoy it. Yes.
Yeah, and you actually get the chance to teach people about how to use power tools, which is great.
Yeah, that's fun. I love handing somebody with instruction, obviously.
With instruction.
But handing somebody like my cordless nail gun. Like most people have never done that before. And so the first time that they pull the trigger, it's a little like, oh, goodness. And then they're like, oh, I totally got this.
I love that.
And then they're like,
it's empowering.
How many nails can I put in this thing? You know, so it's awesome. Yeah.
I love that so much. And then, like you said, you also do birthday parties and events. So tell me about that.
We do. So we do anywhere from children's birthday parties to adult birthday parties, bachelorette parties. We do corporate events, different, just whatever kind of group you want to get together. I have families call me all the time. I just had one yesterday. A family called. They're in town. They want to get together with like the aunts, uncles, cousins. So we picked a time. They all came in. I had projects laid out for everybody. And then they can create their projects and just have a chance to spend time with each other.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, I love that so much. And speaking of love, we're getting into the season of love.
Yes.
And I heard you have some exciting things about that. Tell me about all that.
We do. So date night at Hammer and Stain
Whoop, whoop.
is one of my favorite events that we offer. And we haven't had any in Waco yet.
Ooh,
so we
it's
are
time.
throwing them out there with Valentine's Day. I've got 2 the weekend before Valentine's Day. I believe one is on Friday and then one is the Monday night before Valentine's Day. And so this is where you can grab a date, sign up for your projects. You can bring your drinks or whatever you want to do
be my
and
OB.
complete your projects. Super fun. There's always a great crowd. The conversation is always fun. It's always a really good mix of a good mix of group of people.
Yeah.
And then we also are doing a Galentine's event.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we're going to have 2 Galentine's event that weekend as well. One is going to be a charcuterie
Ooh.
where you learn to make charcuterie.
Oh, yay.
And then the other is going to be a chunky knit blanket
Ooh.
workshop where you learn to make one of those
I need to go
comfy,
to that,
cozy.
definitely.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a ton of fun.
I like barely learned how to crochet, and like I can crochet like a line, and like that's it.
That's perfect.
I crocheted like the most terrible looking scarf. I call it chaos crochet.
Chaos crochet.
So it's like I don't actually care what it
That
looks
is
like as long as it
actually
becomes a
the
together
Better-
fabric.
Yes, that's the way to do it. It's a modern crochet.
Yeah, I try.
look. It's awesome.
I
love
dabble
it.
in all the craftiness.
I love it. That's good.
But yeah, and then also you have open paint sessions and open shop hours. Tell me about that.
We do. So Wednesday through Friday, we're open 2 to 6, and people can just walk in.
Just come in.
Just come in, and we've got a variety of wood projects that they can do. We have ceramics. We are opening our candle bar where you can pour your own candle.
Oh my gosh.
We have a mosaic station, which is near and dear to my heart. This was sort of born out of a desire all of my life before I got into the craft business, if you will, like always wanting to mosaic everything. This coffee table, that side table, like everything looked good. I'm sure it would be a great mosaic, but never doing it, never knowing how. So when I finally completed my first mosaic, I thought, like, this is so easy. I should have done this years ago. And so there is always a mosaic station set up. People can walk in, throw together a mosaic. It might not be heirloom,
Heirloom quality,
in like
but
30 minutes on a Saturday morning. But I just want them to be able to say that they've done it, and then decide if that's something that they want to pursue.
I love that.
So we have a mosaic, and it's for all ages. And
I've just seen like the little CDs where like cut them up to get like the hollow
isn't
pieces.
that fun?
Ooh, it's so shiny.
Shouldn't I do that for kids?
Yeah,
I love that
shiny,
idea.
shiny
Yeah.
CD
Yeah.
mosaics.
Wonder if my husband would let me have his CD collection that he still has. I'm like,
It's okay.
why do we own
Just
this?
go find some DVDs of like some random
Like,
shows.
why do we own these CDs?
It's okay. I still have VHSs, so
Oh my
it's okay.
gosh. Yeah. So, and then we have a couple of other stations in the works that I'm not ready to
Ooh.
divulge, but they're going to be amazing. Yeah. So yeah, I really want to have it set up, and then so Wednesday through Friday, like I mentioned, and then Saturday 12 to 6 we're open.
Saturday 12 to 6 is,
So
I'm
people
pretty
can
sure, the
just come
best
in.
day for people to come.
It's a great day. You'd be surprised. I mean, yesterday that workshop that I was telling you about was at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
You know, so they called. They were in town. They wanted to stop by, so we threw it together, and I'm happy to do that kind
That's
of stuff.
so cute.
But yeah, for sure.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for telling me about the events. We'll
Yeah.
take a quick break real fast, and we'll be right back.
Okay, great.
And now for a word from our sponsors.
Welcome to One Star Rewind, a new podcast about those dreaded one-star reviews that every business owner hates to receive, but yet every customer loves to read. During this podcast, we will peel back that one-star review to better understand how it happened, when it happened, and what the business owner is doing after receiving that one-star review. This podcast will be about love, hate, and laughter. On One Star Rewind, we will meet with real business owners who will tell their stories and how they do rely on reviews for their business. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or download us at roguemedianetwork.com. Please subscribe, but only rate and review for not a one-star review. Join us each time for a new review and a new story.
What's your emergency?
Do you hear that? It's coming from the house.
It's coming from inside the house? Do you mean? Could it be?
The Poltergeist. New from Rogue Media. Two haunted hotties talking about haunted places. Every episode we dive deep into the darkest places and give you a bit of history.
We're getting spooky in all the right places.
You've gobbled your last ghoul.
Follow along for the craziest and spookiest stories with Debbie's Dark Tourism. The Stanley Hotel,
Winchester House,
the Alamo,
Hotel Monte Vista,
and more spooky places. Find us at _Poltergals. POLTERGALS.
Look over your shoulder. It's us,
the Poltergals. Wherever you consume the podcast, you can find us there.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
And now, back to the episode. All right, and we're back. So we were just talking about some of the exciting events you have going on, coming up for the season of love, and some of your open paint hours. So, of course, we're in 2023 now. So what is your New Year's resolution?
Oh, my gosh. My New Year's resolution is... I'm kind of thinking on this on a fly.
You haven't had a... Do you normally do resolutions?
I mean, I think that I was so busy during the holidays. I'm just now kind of...
I think that's how everybody is
picking
feeling.
my heads up out of this, you know...
We're only on like the 7th. What's
right,
today?
Yeah, I need at least another week to get to New Year's resolution. Actually, I have a few workshops coming up, not at my studio, but in my business life. I have some business workshops and things that I'm doing. And so I hope that there will be a resolution built into that. Yeah. But I have to say that one of the things that I really want to do, this is sort of like, personal as a business owner, is continue to surround myself with like-minded people, not just business owners, but families and other moms. I homeschool my littlest one. I've got 2 that are almost out. I just want to continue to surround myself with people who are like-minded so that we can continue to network and kind of feed off of each other.
I love that.
Get strength from each other as we all move forward in whatever direction we're moving.
Yeah.
I think that's just continuing to build that network that might come out of us being still feeling a little bit new here.
Yeah.
And so just really wanting to continue to build those roots. So
and
that's a resolution.
That's a resolution.
That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah. And going off of resolution. So on the business side, what is one of your goals for 2023?
I hope, so I have some number goals, obviously, that I have for the year, and they're pretty big. But all of our preparation, the choices that we made for location, all of these things go into setting those goals. And also this picture that I have of Hammer and Stain Waco and what it looks like in terms of staffing, management, schedule, all of those things. So just really to get to that, this picture that I have where, there's a manager, there's some, lead instructors where I'm not doing everything, but also where I've been able to pass on to them some of the ideas and the ways that I, the vision that I have. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And I love that. And then moving on to a more broader sense of Waco, what is something you would like to see in Waco? Or see more of in Waco?
Yeah, what would I like to see more of in Waco?
You could just say Trader Joe's. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right. Trader Joe's would be amazing.
Less construction. Trader Joe's. No.
All the things. I would love to see.
Now you're like really considering
I know.
it.
Now I'm like, I feel like it has to be a great answer.
It
not
doesn't
just
have to
Trader Joe's, but now I'm thinking about they have some really good balsamic vinegar at Trader Joe's.
Shout out TJ's.
I think, I guess now that you put that in my mind, I guess I'm thinking about Trader Joe's.
Yeah. We need something. Maybe a grocery store, a convenience store downtown. Like, come on.
Yeah, right?
We just need somewhere to go grab a drink real fast.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that's amazing. And again, so how long have you been open now so far?
So we opened in June.
So 6 months.
6 months.
Well, congratulations on that.
We will be having a 1-year celebration in June. So we just decided that we're going to go ahead and do that versus a grand opening or whatever, because that got all crazy.
That's okay.
So we're just going to skip right to the 1 year. And so we'll do that in June. So
that's exciting.
It'll be fun.
And so you've been in the Waco community for, being a business owner for longer than just, 6 months.
Sure.
It takes longer than that to get anything going.
Exactly.
But has there been anything or anyone specific you want to shout out that has helped you along this journey? I always say you can shout out your mom, your dog, or your grandma too.
So fun. And, I remember this question from our first one, and I wish I would have thought more about it, but I'm going to say 100%. I am going to shout out my husband.
Yay.
Richard, who is 100% supportive in this dream and goal of mine with Hammer and Stain, but he also just supports me in, I want to say raising our children, but obviously we're raising our children. But I homeschool my little, and he is great and supportive in all the things. Aww. So
I love that so much. That's fantastic. And also, do you have any advice for any new business owners or anybody wanting to start anything? What would be your advice?
My advice is to find, if you don't know what you want to start, find something that really touches your heart so that in it and through that, you can reach the heart of other people.
Oh.
I think that's an important thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll bring you happiness and success and financial success and all of those things. But I feel like just thinking about my business and other businesses that I'd like to be more like them, it's about the heart of it.
Yeah, I love that so much. And of course, plug yourself, where we can find you, where we can find more information about you. Give us
Okay.
all the things.
Awesome. So it's Hammer and Stain Waco. On Instagram, it's at Hammer and Stain Waco. Facebook, the same. Our website is hammerandstainwaco, spelled out, .com. And we are on Franklin and 11th, right by, and I'll do a quick plug, Milk Bottle,
Whoop, shout out
Ramble and
McKinsey.
Company,
We love you.
Bloom, Milo's, Balcones.
You got all the fun stuff
I
over
know,
there.
and we have chocolate too. Splendid.
Splendid Oaks.
Yeah, I was like, Splendid
I like
Oaks
their little
chocolate.
mural they had that said "Merry Christmas, you filthy animals."
So
I was like,
sweet.
so cute.
So fun. And they have ice cream there as well.
Ooh.
Yes, super good. So,
Well,
yeah.
that's fantastic. Is there anything else you want to share with our listeners today?
No, but I'll thank you so much for having
Yes,
me. I
of course.
appreciate it so much.
I'm so glad we could do a redo.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Now, this one better not get lost to the abyss.
Yeah, right. This one is going straight
This
on.
one going straight out.
No, I want to thank you so much. I think for those of us who are not in the podcast world, like it makes me feel kind of cool. Like I kind of wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm recording a podcast
Aw,
today.
yeah.
Like telling my husband, like, oh, I'll see you later. I gotta
I
go
got a
record this
podcast.
quick podcast. You know, like they called and asked me to be on. So
It's okay.
so that's
You are
fun.
fancy.
I appreciate it.
And
yeah.
again, my whole goal is to give the voice to other people who don't usually get to have their voice out.
Yeah,
So
that's
getting
so
to come on a
cool.
podcast is super cool.
I think that's
because it's your
amazing.
side.
That's awesome.
But yeah, again, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for not being too mad at us for somehow your episode disappearing into thin air.
I actually love it because
She thought it was her fault.
Don't you leave the first time and you're like, ooh,
Yeah,
ew.
and see, now we got to do
Now I
redo.
get to
That's
do it
really
again,
great.
and I feel a little bit more relaxed and it's
Yeah,
good.
well, that's great. And thank you again so much for coming on. I really hope people head over there, check her out at Hammer and Stain, do some crafts, join in for a DIY, and have fun while doing it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Find us everywhere on all social media platforms, KNOW_Waco. Check us out at roguemedianetwork.com, and we're on YouTube under Rogue Media Network. Check out nowaco.com.